Hello. Welcome back to another week. For those of you that are coming back, for those of you that are new, my name is Mike Maspero. I am a 43, almost 44-year-old man living in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm using this vlog as a representation of my journey of growth, of understanding myself, and just generally making myself a better person. So if you're watching this, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Last week, I talked about living in the silence. I talked about getting a better understanding of that silence and the things that come along with it, the emotions, the feelings, the ebb and flow, and those kind of things. And I'll have to say that just to start, it really was, there were some points of this week that were difficult. And, part of that is the time of year and the memories that I have from this time of year and the things that I've been thinking about that I used to do and things that used to happen and the people that I used to be around. And, one of the things that I discussed last week was this idea of moving forward and talking to my therapist and getting a better understanding of this idea of moving forward. I think part of the reason that I've had such a difficult time with the moving forward is part of moving forward is the whole concept of letting go. And for a lot of people, when it comes to this idea of letting go, we think of letting go as letting everything go. And one thing that I've kind of reflected on and kind of started to understand that letting go isn't necessarily like complete loss, right? Completely cutting things out, completely removing everything, right? Because at the end of the day, there's memories that are there, there's emotions that are there, there's thoughts that are there that are always going to be there. The scars that you have are scars that are always going to be part of the person that you are. And a lot of times it's hard to wrap your head around that. And it's definitely something that I've had problems with wrapping my head around. And the idea of moving forward and continuing to move forward is something that I know is necessary, right? For my own personal growth and for my own almost sanity, right? To keep myself from feeling like I'm in this rut, like I'm constantly down, like I'm sad all the time, the depressed state that I've been in, and knowing that I'm much more than what is perceived is all about letting go. And there's a lot of things that I've been reflecting on this idea of letting go. And, to be honest with you, I talked to my therapist yesterday. That's when we had our session. And the thing that she kind of explains to me, and it helped me to get a better understanding, was that idea that letting go isn't that you are losing those feelings, right? The feelings are always going to be there. The emotions are always going to be there. You're not losing the memories. You're not losing the pictures. You're not losing all of these things that for most of us that have been in this situation hold very, very dear in our hearts. And the knowing that person is somebody who is going to always have that part is important, right? It's important for us to be able to see that, to feel that, to know that that's there, but at the same time know that in this moment, in this time, in this present, it's not the case, right? And I've had a difficult time of that. I can honestly say that that's been the thing that has been holding myself back. One of the bigger things, and that's not the only thing, but it's one of the bigger things that has been holding me back, is the idea that to be able to continue to move forward and to get out of this feeling of discontent, this feeling of sadness, this feeling of unworthiness, is that I have to let certain things go. And sometimes that's hard. I know it's been hard for me, and anybody who's gone through anything like this or tried to work on their personal growth has probably had to let things go in the past, or from the past, excuse me. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. And having this understanding and this clarity has kind of opened up myself to have a little bit better understanding of the things that I'm going through and why I'm going through them, having a better understanding of the gratitude that I need to give to myself, and not just the gratitude, but the grace I need to give to myself when I do have these feelings, and know that it's okay for me to have these feelings, and it's okay for me to be sad. It's okay for me to cry. It's okay for me to have these emotions that, just like, one of the things that I read is just like a tide, right? As the tide comes in, comes out, our emotions are kind of that same way, that they come in and they come out. And man, I can totally attest to that, right? Like, there's days where I feel good, like I'm doing good, and then there's days that it's just like a complete opposite. And it's these waves of emotion that are there, that come and they go, and giving myself the grace and being kind with myself, and understanding myself that it's okay to have those times and those moments, that they're going to come, that I'm in this process of grieving, that I'm in this process of personal change and personal growth, and with that, these emotions are going to change, and they're going to come and they're going to go. And just to be graceful with myself, and to be gratuitous of myself, and the fact that I can have these feelings. There's people that they never feel these things, that they don't acknowledge these feelings, and they don't allow themselves to have these kinds of emotions, is where I'm at. And to be honest with you, being in this place and starting to get a little bit more clarity about myself, and starting to get a bit more self-confidence in myself, and the things that I have done, and the places that I'm going, and the man that I know that I am, but improving that man even more is fulfilling, and it's helping my confidence, and it is very much making me feel much better about myself. I am by no way, shape, form, mean anywhere near where I think that I should be, or anywhere near over completely. And I'm not over. Let me backtrack. I am still in the grieving process, and I know that I am, but in the same token of being in that grieving process, it's almost like the light has come on at the end of the tunnel, and I can see progress. I can feel progress. I can feel myself understanding more about my emotions and where I'm at and what I'm going through, that is ultimately helping me become better, right? Helping me understand, through my meditation, that sometimes it's better to take a step back, take a breath. Through my journaling, really understanding what it is that I'm writing down and why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling, right? Not just throwing feelings onto a page, but throwing the feelings on the page and then understanding that those feelings have a purpose, has given me clarity. Because these feelings do have a purpose, right? And that purpose for me, in understanding those feelings and becoming more clear in the reasons why those feelings come about and why I feel the way that I do, is helping me to understand the growth that I need to make. Understanding more how to communicate these things with other people. Understanding more how to be okay with not being okay. Everybody's messed up, right? Somebody told me this a long time ago, and I have it written on as an affirmation on my mirror in my bathroom, that everybody's effed up. And that's okay, as long as we learn and we grow from it. And for a long time, I thought that I was just effed up. But now I'm starting to see that it's okay to be messed up. It's okay to be effed up as long as we take that moment and reflect and figure out how we can better ourselves from being messed up in that way. It's the little wins, right? It's the little wins in these battles with ourselves and the little clarity that we get that help us to move in the right direction. And to be honest, there was a point in time during these last couple weeks where I didn't think that I was making any progress, that I didn't see that there was any forward momentum, right? Even though we were talking about moving forward, I didn't feel that there was. I didn't feel like I was moving forward because ultimately I was playing tug of war with myself. And now that I see this idea of letting go doesn't necessarily mean that you're letting go. It means that you're being here, you're being now, right? That the things that are happening right now are the things that you need to focus on, right? That the things that have happened in the past are things that we should look upon and think about and understand, so that way we can continue to face forward and move forward. Letting go doesn't mean that the scars aren't there. Letting go doesn't mean that the things that hurt you still don't hurt, that the love that you had still isn't love in your heart, and that the feelings that you feel aren't true and relatable. It just means that you're living for the now. And I'm starting to see that, and I'm starting to understand that. And with that, I'm starting to move forward. And I think that progress for myself and the things that I feel with that they make me feel really good. And now it's just to build on that, right? It's to continue to build on that. It's to continue to live in the moment, live in the present, and know that the things that I'm doing now are just helping me further in moving along in the future. So that's been my week. That's been the reflections that I've had. I hope that everybody that does watch these things, I hope that you guys are doing well. Reflect on yourself. I've honestly, every day I've been adding to my story on my social media about just little motivational things and things that come into my head that honestly, they're more to help me than they're to help other people. And I know that sounds weird because, you know, the whole point in this vlog is to look back, right? It's for me to be able to reflect and see where I started and see where I've gone, and the motivational things that I've been putting up are just as much to help myself as they are to help other people. So that's been very, very helpful. Obviously, my meditation, my counseling, my journaling has been helpful, and I continue to do that, and I'm going to continue to do that even when I feel quote unquote better. I feel like I'm moving forward, like things are in a good spot. I'm going to continue to do that as well because I think it's important. And one of the things I'm realizing is that if something's important, then you've got to keep on keeping on with it. So that's about it for this week. Thank you again for those of you that are watching. I hope that you get something out of this. I hope everybody's doing well. And I'm going to end this like I've been ending my little motivational posts that I've had, that this world and this life is a beautiful place. It's almost the most beautiful thing that I've ever known. Almost. I love you guys. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Wednesday.